97 won the ticket.
Come on, Jeff.
All right, TJ Lang in the house. TJ, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How you guys doing? Good to see you. Everybody in a good mood?
Oh, yeah.
Good Friday?
I think so.
I just said,
Rico, you okay over there?
I am, man. I just said I'm more confident Lions are going to get a victory than I am that Indiana football will get a victory. That's how confident I am.
Do you think the NFL is going to be like, we kind of owe the Lions?
Yes, that's exactly what he thinks. Do you buy that?
They're showing up to the house with flowers and candy. Sorry we got caught. Hey, you know we love you, right?
I'll tell you what was wild was when I had about 5 texts yesterday about the video that
the branch video, the hit piece
that came out of NFL Films, and I'm like, there's no way this is real. I mean, like, my mom will text me videos. My mom will text me something. I'm like, Mom, come on, that's clearly fake. Like, that's AI. That's not real. Nobody would have said that. And when it was confirmed that it was a legit video, I was like, this is insane to me. Like, they're basically rubbing the Lions' nose in it. Like, yeah, we let Patrick Mahomes taunt on you and let Brian Branch get hit in the back and, he's being a little baby about it and kind of rub their nose in it.
It was Louis Riddick, too.
Wild. Yeah,
and that's what I was
wild, man.
Until David sent me that, TJ, I was like, Dave, I think this may be AI.
I said the same thing. I said the same exact thing.
David, did I not say?
There's no way they put that
I don't want to go on air with this because this may not be real. And I don't want to get duped.
Yeah.
And sure enough, no.
When it got confirmed for me from several people that I trust, it was like wow, that is a wow factor.
Do you believe their apology? Did you read it? The fact that they're like, I
didn't see an apology.
They did. They had a statement, and Louis Riddick apparently goes there every Monday and talks to them, and they make like 9 or 10-minute videos. But then for some reason, they decided to make a 2-minute vignette of Brian Branch and put it on social media. So they said, as a whole video that was 9-10 minutes about the game, didn't look that bad. But when you focus on the Branch part and you post it that by itself on social media, it looked really negative towards Branch, so we took it down.
Oh, yeah, of course it did. Like, and look, if you're going to say, hey, great route by this guy, but instead they made it a point to...
Right, he got owned.
Oh, look, he got owned. Oh, look, and Patrick Mahomes is going to flex on him and point in his way.
Right, like,
yeah, you're my little bitch.
He got toasted.
It's kind of like the way they put it out was like, whoa, that's... If you want to highlight something that the Chiefs do, that's fine. But the whole that whole video was like, no, we're just gonna point out every bad thing that you did. And look, Travis Kelce juked you out of your shoes, you little baby. Like it was
TJ.
It was very. Like, I thought it was fake. I thought it was fake.
It looks like when we're recording things and we have fun in the recording booth and you'll just say something knowing it's never going to make air.
Right.
That's what this seemed like.
That's dangerous, by the way.
Did.
I would not advise that.
It did. And I thought that, even looking back to last week and people talking about that, I agree with Amon-Ra. He did a podcast at some point this week that said, like, look, the refs didn't cost us the game. We all feel that way. But when you watch that game, and Rico, remember last Friday being in here, it's like this just feels like a very predictable game. This feels like you're going to have to play really good football, not make mistakes, because the refs aren't going to give you any help. And that's the way that it felt. And bottom line is the Lions didn't play good enough to win that game. But I think that you being one of the guys, along with Costa, were like, oh, come on, there's no, they're not trying to favor any team.
I think
for guys like you, it'd be hard to say, like, yeah, okay, they did call down. New York called down and changed a call.
Yeah,
on
TJ,
a touchdown
when
play,
Dan Campbell
it helped another team.
He reluctantly admitted
Do you think
it.
Dan Campbell was lying?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
When Dan Campbell, the man's man, comes out and you could tell he was almost like, don't ask me, don't ask me, don't ask me.
His last answer when he was like, yeah.
He knew what was coming.
He knew.
He knew that it just opened it up.
When that happened, it looked bad. Yeah. And then the fact that ESPN, their beat writers, NFL Network, they are avoiding this topic.
Nobody's talking about it.
I know more about everything that's going on with the New York Giants than I know what's happening here.
Yeah,
I'll know more about Shedeur Sanders than I know what happened here. They're going out of their way. And that's when I'm like, okay, it's the quiet part. It's the part that's not being said that leads me to believe, man, this is a real conspiracy.
Well, and here's the thing that I have is if that's a 1:00 game, let's say Lions are playing the Browns, that's a 1:00 game. Does that happen?
No.
No way.
No
way, right? Like that's a Sunday night primetime game. What I think happened, and I'm not trying to cause more, conspiracies or people to get pissed off about it, but what I think happened is Dan Campbell told us 2 years ago now when they played Dallas, when they had that 2-point conversion, hey, we went over it with the officials before the game. We talked about this. We're going to go through this procedure. This guy's going to report. Right? Like we remember that from a couple years ago. I think what happened this past game is that they did the same exact thing. And this is just my theory. I don't know any facts on this. But I think they had a discussion before the game saying, hey, if we get a 2-point conversion or a 4th and 1, we're down by the goal line, this is going to be a play that we're going to run. So what do we need to do to make it legal? And I think that they were on the same page. I think the Lions took that as a way to say, okay, as long as we get up and we don't put our hands under center and we run the play, like we're going to be good. And I think at that time, the refs looked at that play happening live and were like, yep, that's what we told them they could do. 75 seconds goes by and it's like, oh, hold on a minute, right? Like somebody had to have called down. You're never going to convince me that somebody did.
On the flip side,
you could see Dan Campbell. So there's either one of two things
that
happened.
The judge went running in as soon as it happened.
Okay,
and
he
said,
did.
It doesn't take that long, though. It doesn't take that long. And Rico, I know you've made this point throughout the week that, like, hey, intentional grounding, the referees get together. It's normally decided in 15, 20 seconds. When over a minute goes by, that's where it's got to be from somewhere else, right? Like if you throw a flag right away and you're like, hey, let's talk about it, let's convene, that's fine. That happens all the time.
Yeah, if they just would have thrown a flag, we're not talking about
flag
this.
right away.
Yeah, but there was never a flag.
Hey, we talked about it pregame, but you did something that, we said you just couldn't get that close. Maybe you had to be
I thought the
6
fact that
inches
he didn't
behind
stop,
the center.
I thought the fact that Goff didn't stop and get set. Because I was like,
which is weird. I think the Lions did everything that the referees told them they could do to make it a legal play. When they talk about that play before the game, I think the Lions did everything that they thought that was legal. And I think when that play happened, the referees agreed because nobody threw a flag, nobody was convening, nobody was like, "Oh, let's talk." Like it took over a minute for those guys to throw a flag. And normally that yes, I agree that there's calls where sometimes the referees will convene real quick. They'll talk about it for 15, 20 seconds, and then they'll talk about it. When it gets to like 75, 80 seconds, it's like, okay, that's clearly not coming from you guys. It doesn't take that long to discuss that. So, yes, do I think that in the rule book, did they break a rule? Like maybe, but I think the Lions thought they were doing everything that the referees told them that they could do. So you're never going to convince me that New York didn't call down. I agree with Dan. I agree with Jared Goff. Those guys said, they clearly intervened where they shouldn't have, and it benefited a certain team. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that was the reason why they lost. We'll get into that more, but that was it was weird.
Well,
it was weird. It was weird.
TJ laying in the house.
And I have a critical question.
Oh!
Yeah, critical question.
It's actual real question.
A real question?
It's a real question.
Have I repeated myself on the sideline? It's not going to be one of those, right?
I don't care if you did or not.
Valenti's not here.
Do you have like a bet? Never mind.
This is a real one.
97 on the ticket.
Rieger, come on.